Hello Guardians, and welcome to our first real House of Huskies Destiny video, and what a doozy this one will be. Let's start with the big news of the day. Thorn is getting nerfed. But all of this comes at a bit of a cost. A ton of other things are changing about the Crucible too. Nerfs and buffs are coming to a lot of commonly used weapons, including the Last Word, Black Hammer, Hardlight, and, dare I say it, Gala Horn. This weekly update was a doozy, so this video will sum it up for you. Here it goes. First off, auto rifles. Yes, they've sucked since 1.1.1, and yes, my Suros has been gathering dust for months. But finally, we'll see their return on September 15th with a brand new buff. The biggest problem with auto rifles was damage output. With this update, base damage will be increased, with damage fall-off starting closer to the player. This means that as you fire on targets further away, it'll do less damage than if they were right next to you. Auto rifles will also be losing a bit of their base stability, and they're getting a 10% boost against AI opponents. So finally, I will be able to use my Suros again. Thank you, base Bungie. Second off are the now top-tier pulse rifles. With 1.1.1, we've seen a huge increase in the use of pulse rifles. This is because of the huge damage buff they got. Bungie and most of the community likes where pulse rifles are, so they aren't changing it that much. However, with guns like the Messenger and the Hopscotch Pilgrim dominating the field, Bungie wanted there to be a longer time to kill on these weapons. As such, medium rate of fire rifles are going to drop by 2.5%, effectively increasing the chance that it'll take 3 bursts for a kill. They're getting a small hit to base stability and a small increase in magazine size for all pulse rifles. I have zero objections to any of these. Next up, scout rifles, my personal favorite. With 1.1.1, scout rifles took a hit to base damage, but now they're getting it back with this update, at least for medium to high rate of fire weapons. Sorry, Galeon's demise. They're getting an increase to magazine size and reduced accuracy from the hip. In PvE, they're getting additional 5% boost against AI opponents. Still, all so far so good. Hand cannons were all over the place after 1.1.1. You have Thorn, Hawkmoon, and the Last Word essentially dominating the field in different ways, while most legendary hand cannons were still unused. This update is making hand cannons shorter range than ever before by increasing damage fall-off, removing some accuracy while aiming down the sights, and a slight penalty for trying to fire too fast. So this seems to solve all the exotic hand cannons, but it looks like we'll see even less of the legendary hand cannons. Shotguns. Oh boy. Check out this exclusive look at a room full of Guardians who don't use shotguns in the Crucible. Your party has been crashed. Felwinter lied, and Bungie held a towel out and like a matador ripped away the hopes and dreams of everyone who thought they could just snipe with a shotgun. Party's over, Guardians. With Weapon Patch 2.0, Bungie's delivering a huge blow to Shot Package and Rangefinder. As much as a whopping 30% drop to Shot Package, and Rangefinder being dropped to a fourth of what it used to do. On top of that, precision multipliers are being dropped by 10%, and you do 10% less against AI opponents, effectively leaving shotguns to dry and rot. Okay, enough bad shotgun puns. On to the next. Fusion rifles. This is a room full of Guardians who use fusion rifles in the Crucible. This is because 1.1.1 hit them hard. It increased the bloom, effectively destroying their range, and this update is only going to make it worse. With 2.0, high-impact fusion rifles will have less range values, and all fusion rifles have a slower projectile speed. Long-range fusion rifles will have reduced accuracy, and short-range fusion rifles will have improved accuracy. Long story short, fusion rifles suck. Don't use them unless you enjoy losing. Sniper rifles are largely unchanged in this update, except for the one thing everybody was whining about. Final round. Anyone who's played Trials knows what happens when you go up against a player who has a final round effort each spear. It's an instant kill no matter where you get hit. With this update, it makes it so final round only deals more damage when used in a precision shot, thus rendering it useless in PvP, returning this perk where it was meant to be in PvE. Thank you, Bungie. Thank you so much. The last weapon type that's being changed are rocket launchers. Anybody who plays Trials knows that you either want an Ash Factory or Radagast Fury with the Grenades and Horseshoes perk. This perk makes it so that the warhead will detonate at the closest point to the opponent. effectively letting you have more freedom to completely miss and still get the kill. This update is increasing the blast radius for all rocket launchers and reducing the effectiveness of the grenades and horseshoes perk, making it so that you have a reasonable chance to escape when somebody points that rocket at you. And wait, there's more! Several exotics are targeted too in this patch. Can I start with Thorn? I'm starting with Thorn. The gun that broke the Crucible, the bane of legitimate players everywhere, the thing that polarized forums into two categories, people who want it gone, and people who said, I deserve this because I had to get 500 points with a void weapon. Well, shut up. I did it 4 times with a hunter, and I still have to wash my hands after using this weapon. Thorn's Mark of the Devourer is changing so that it only does 1/3 of the damage that it did before. But it stacks with every shot, so it'll take 3 shots with Thorn to do the same effect. But I think if you've been hit 3 times, you probably should die anyway. I would call this fixed, but some of you might say this is not enough. Let me know in the comments where you stand. Hardlight is, well, it's a pea shooter. Whenever I see somebody using the Crucible, I either laugh or I let them kill me because they deserve a little something for having the guts to take a BB gun into Crucible. Lucky for them, Hardlight's stability is going up from 65 to 80, and the bouncy bullets are getting bouncier. Big whoop. At least this weapon isn't getting any damage fall off, so you have that going for you. Speaking of pea shooters, how about the Necro Chasm? All that hard work grinding for a Husk of the Pit, grinding Aris bounties for an embalming orb, and then grinding hard mode Crota for a Crux. All for a garbage weapon? Grinders rejoice, you have a decent weapon now. Necro Chasm is increasing its stability by 50%. The magazine is increasing, and the trademark Cursebringer perk will trigger with every precision kill, and will have an increased radius and damage. It's essentially like an electric firefly, so that's good, right? You can finally feel like you've earned a half-decent weapon that not too many people will have. The last word. This is a weapon that drives me almost as crazy as Thorn. You can see here that I can't use it to save my life, but nonetheless, its time to kill is faster than any other primary in the game, and this gun is getting hit hard. People who love this weapon, I spit on you first, and then I wave a flag in your honor. The range of this weapon has been cut in half, and the stability has been dropped by 1/3. Aim down sight accuracy was decreased, but aim assist while hip firing was increased. Precision damage while hip firing was also increased, so this weapon is essentially only usable now from the hip. Fixed. Hawkmoon. I play on Xbox, so I never had the privilege, but Hawkmoon has a lot of perks that are based on luck. This update kind of modifies your luck to be a little worse. With holding aces and luck in the chamber, you'll never see more than 2 perks stack on the same bullet, and as such, you'll likely never be lucky enough to down a Guardian in 1 shot. Hawkmoon is also getting an additional 2 shots in the clip when holding aces is activated, which is as much a good thing as it is a bad thing. It decreases your chance of getting that good luck, but you get 2 more bullets, so can you really complain? Finally, luck in the chamber's damage bonus is getting nerfed by a measly 3%. Icebreaker. A crowd favorite in PvE, this gun is also getting a nerf. A quick one, though. The time it takes to recharge a shot is being increased from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. Try cheesing oracles with that. No land beyond. You can see me here using this weapon to no avail, and it's largely been considered a joke, and people challenge themselves to play with it in Crucible all the time. With this update, it's getting a speed bonus to aim, ready, and stow. It should fix the time it takes for you to get a second shot off after you manage to hit somebody. Additionally, the Master perk will be available for 8 seconds and is getting an additional 20% precision bonus while active. Not terribly useful in the Crucible, but maybe it'll be good in PvE. We'll see. This next one hurts my heart. My beloved Black Hammer is losing the thing that made it great. Up until this point, you could fire off 3 precision shots and get those bullets right back with no penalty whatsoever. Now, the ammo will draw from your reserves, but your inventory is going up to 18 rounds. Not good enough, Bungie. I loved being able to take down Sepix Prime in under a minute. I am crying internally. Let's move on to something a little happier. Another favorite of mine, Lord of Wolves, is getting a buff to its Devil's Touch perk. People complain that the recovery bonus it gives you is negligible, and it is. Now, when you get a kill with Lord of Wolves, everyone around you will gain a much better recovery boost, 3 times what it did before, taking around 2 seconds off your time to recover. This gun may now become an excellent support weapon. Last one. If you stuck with this video for this long, I'm so sorry it had to end on a sad note. I'll leave another video of my puppy to make up for it. Gala Horn is getting nerfed. No more burning bosses because the Wolfpack rounds are getting hit in the next update. They didn't say how much it'll do, but if it's anything like the others, it'll be hit hard enough that it won't be as essential to raids anymore. But if I must be honest, I actually agree with this nerf. You'll hate me for this, but I've seen so many LFG groups reject players who don't have Gala Horn, making it harder for people who don't have one to find a group that can help them get one. It's become so essential to the game that it's essentially broken PvE more than Thorn has broken PvP. All in all, I think all of these weapon patches are reasonable and justified. I'm upset about Black Hammer most of all, but I get it. Good job, Bungie. I think you might have fixed the game. Agree? Disagree? What's your favorite and least favorite thing about 2.0.0? Leave a comment and subscribe if you liked it. Thanks for watching, Guardians, and as promised, here's a video of the Husky Queen.